You get close, closer than most people ever do. The project is nearly finished. The application is half submitted. The relationship almost works, and then something shifts. You slow down, you hesitate, you get distracted. It's not dramatic. It's subtle, but it keeps happening. You don't fail loudly. You just never quite arrive. And the strangest part? Somewhere deep down, that almost feels safer. Why? From the outside, your life looks functional. You start things, you plan well, you even build momentum. But when real completion approaches, when the result becomes real, your energy changes. You begin to overthink. You tweak small details that don't matter. You create new side projects. You suddenly feel tired. Behavioral psychology calls this avoidance at the point of evaluation. It's the moment when effort turns into exposure. Because finishing something doesn't just produce an outcome, it produces a verdict. If you don't finish, you can still imagine the version of you that would have succeeded. But if you finish, and it's average, now your identity has evidence. This pattern leaks into everything. You stay in jobs you're overqualified for. You keep relationships in almost serious territory. You prepare for opportunities you never quite take. And your self-talk becomes complicated. I just need more time. It's not ready yet. I'll try properly next month. Underneath that is something quieter. What if this is all I am? This isn't laziness. It's identity protection. And the brain is very invested in protecting identity. But here's the paradox. The closer you get to success, the more uncomfortable you feel. Which means the very thing you want activates the same systems as threat. Why would your brain treat achievement like danger? You are not addicted to failure. You are attached to potential. Potential is safe. Potential has no proof. In personality psychology, identity is built from repeated evidence. Your brain prefers stable self-concepts, even limiting ones, over uncertain upgrades. If you've lived most of your life as the one who tries or the one with talent but no luck, or the smart one who underperforms, that identity becomes familiar. And familiarity feels safe. Almost success allows you to preserve that identity. You get the stimulation of progress. Without the risk of redefining who you are, it's not self-sabotage in the dramatic sense. It's self-preservation. But preservation of what? That's where it gets interesting. There are three psychological systems interacting here. Dopamine is not the reward chemical. It's the pursuit chemical. Research in neuroscience shows dopamine spikes more during anticipation than completion. The chase feels energizing. The nearing of the goal feels exciting. But once the goal is achieved, dopamine drops. The brain goes quiet. Almost success keeps you in the anticipation phase. Completion ends the chemical high. When you finish something meaningful, it becomes testable. Testable means judgeable. The anterior cingulate cortex, a region involved in error detection, becomes more active when we anticipate evaluation. If success exposes you to judgment, your brain flags it as social risk. Social risk historically meant exclusion, and the brain still treats exclusion like survival danger. So it whispers, delay. Think of identity like a thermostat. Your brain tries to maintain a stable internal story about who you are. If you've unconsciously calibrated yourself to almost successful, full success creates psychological overheating. So your behavior adjusts to bring you back to baseline. You stall, you distract yourself, you complicate things. Not because you don't want success, but because your nervous system doesn't recognize it as safe. Now the real question isn't, how do I force myself to finish? It's how do I make success feel safe enough to hold? This isn't about pushing harder. It's about retraining your brain's relationship to completion. Here are 4 principles. Intentionally complete small projects and let them exist publicly, even imperfectly. Exposure therapy reduces threat response. When the brain repeatedly experiences evaluation without catastrophe, the amygdala's alarm weakens. Instead of building the perfect online portfolio, post one small piece. Not flawless, just finished. Let your nervous system learn. Completion didn't destroy me. Verbally label outcomes as experiments, not verdicts. Cognitive reappraisal reduces activity in threat circuits and increases prefrontal regulation. When you redefine a result as data, not identity, your brain lowers defensive resistance. Instead of "this proves if I'm talented," say, "This shows what happens when I try this approach." You are not the result. You are the experimenter. That distinction calms the ego threat system. Measure how often you finish, not how impressive the result is. Behavioral psychology shows habits form around repeatable actions, not emotional intensity. By rewarding completion itself, you rewire dopamine to respond to closure, not just pursuit. Create a simple log. Finished X, not succeeded at X. You're teaching your brain that the act of finishing is the reward. Update your self-description in small increments. Self-concept shifts are easier when they're progressive, not abrupt. The brain resists identity shock but tolerates identity stretch. Instead of "I'm a successful entrepreneur," start with "I'm someone who completes business ideas." Small expansions reduce internal backlash. You're adjusting the thermostat slowly. Here's the mental model. Almost success is a psychological waiting room. You sit there because it's familiar. It has anticipation. It has possibility. It has safety. But it's not a destination. Your brain learned that staying close to the door is safer than walking through it. So it keeps you hovering. The solution isn't forcing the door open. It's convincing your nervous system that the other side isn't exile. Completion is not a cliff. It's a room. And you're allowed to occupy it. When you finish something, you're not ending the chase. You're expanding your identity. And expansion feels unstable at first, but instability isn't danger. It's growth recalibrating. You don't struggle because you lack discipline. You hesitate because finishing changes you. And change, even positive change, activates ancient alarms. So you stay almost there, almost ready, almost recognized, almost proud, but almost is still a pattern. And patterns can be rewritten, not by intensity, by repetition, by teaching your brain gently that completion is survivable. That visibility is survivable. That success doesn't erase you, it evolves you. Next time you feel yourself slowing down near the finish line,